everyone, it's MB here, and welcome to the Imperial City edition of my Magicka commentated gameplay videos. Everything you see here will be no CP, it will be outnumbered fights, and it's featuring my LagPlar build. It hasn't had an update in quite a while, but the crux of it, 5-piece pariah, 5-piece transmutation. So we're running a very tanky setup to be able to have these outnumbered fights that you see in the videos. But, as demonstrated, it is still highly capable of closing out kills in a 1vx situation. So to dive straight into this gameplay commentary, what you just said there was a little bit of baiting and a little bit of kiting of those DC, and unfortunately none of them took it, but we kited it ourselves right into these two EP players. So we're just going to get into a bit of a better environment to fight inside this building here, away from those NPCs. We're going to drop down our ritual, drop down our channeled focus, so we've got our buffs continuously going, and we're just going to pick out the weaker target here, which is definitely going to be the non-sword and board. So we drop down Purifying Light, we toppling charge for the stun, and we sweeps as the meteor hits to take them out in one shot basically. So now that we're down to 1v1, we're just going to recoup a bit of our resources with a heavy attack there. And it's really only a matter of time before this person goes down. They are a little bit tanky though, and as you can see here, Radiant Destruction is not an execute you can just spam and expect people to die with. You do have to use it within a combo. So we back off, we reset our combo, and we get that second kill out. This one here, we've got 3 EP players charging at our flag, so we quickly pop it at a movable pop, drop down that shooting star, and gets the stun on all of them. We do a sneaky Breath of Life on the back bar to stop us from dying, and then we switch back over, we get the kill off on the second EP, and now again, we've very quickly got it down to a 1v1, so it's just a matter of time before we finish this third player off, and it did not take long at all with our Purifying Light sweeps combo there. This one here, not strictly outnumbered, this is a 2v2 fight, but both our opponents are wearing Imperial physique, and I'll throw it up on the screen now, but essentially it gives them 6k extra health, stamina, and Magicka, so it gives a huge boost. So we have to be very careful here, because these guys are going to have increased damage. So I've dropped down Purifying, I've dropped down Meteor, I've gone in for the stun, but he blocked it. But I got the stun after the Meteor, but it's just not enough to kill him. So my mate Grey comes in, but he gets Spectral Bowed right in the back there. So I'm left 1v2 here, and I know I cannot take these guys 1v2, so I'm just going to do a little cheeky bit of kiting to give Grey time to resurrect and get back to the fight. So what we're doing is we're dropping down Ritual, and that snares them using the Sacred Ground passive. We're using Mist Form, which gives us Major Expedition to get away from them, so we've got extra speed. They're snared, which means we can get away from them. Our Channeled Focus is giving us Magicka Return even whilst in Mist Form, so you can see despite all that kiting we did, we're basically at full resources. And so that's given Grey enough time to get back into the fight, and we do get to have a second chance at this. So we're going to be a bit more careful now, because that Spectral Bow does crazy damage already, and they've got 6k extra Magicka in the bank that just adds the damage to that one. So Grey goes in here with the Soul Assault. I immediately Purifying Light just in case his Soul Assault doesn't kill, but it does anyway. But it's a good thing we dropped that Purifying down anyway. And now we'll go in for the Purifying Meteor toppling charge combo to get the kill on this last one. And that's some good TV in the bank for us right there. This fight here, I'm using my cheeky strategy of killing the overextender straight away, even if it uses an ultimate like we saw there. So I Purifying Light, I Reflective Light, toppling charged, and sweeps right as the meteor lands to finish them off. That's a bit of a psychological tactic there, because it means all these other players who could easily roll us, they could basically just spam us with light attacks at this point and we would die. But now that we've seen what we can do to one of their players who gets a bit over-eager, it's a bit of a psychological trick there, and so now they go a bit easier on us. But we're still backing up, we're still stringing them out, forcing them to come to us. We're keeping our buffs up, we're keeping healing on each other. Put down that Ritual, make sure Transmutation is proccing on myself, make sure it's proccing on Grey. He's struggling a bit, so I pop a Remembrance. We're also healing the NPC prisoner in the cage, which is cool, I guess. and Grey's taking a lot of heat right now, so I'm going to go in with a top lane charge and just spam some sweeps and try and take some aggro off him, because he's got pretty much all of them wanted. So it's good now, we've done a bit of an aggro switch. I'm just going to stand here and let them soak up a bit of my stamina a bit to give Grey a chance to regen. I'm going to misform around again, going to pop into this little cage just because I can, and we've had our third member rock up. So that's just pretty much a game changer really. That third player makes massive difference. So Miss Ali immediately dropped 1 DC, and that's put us suddenly on the offensive, so we can drop another one there. Just make sure we keep our buffs up so they don't get a late stage kill on us, because that would be the worst. I'm trying to prop a meteor on that guy, but I don't have the ultimate to do it. But Grey was able to finish him off for me with an assist from me. And now very quickly we've swung it around from a highly outnumbered 2v, I don't know, 5 or 6 fight, and now it's down to 3v1 against this very tanky player. They probably should have been running guard or something on this build, because their heals were not enough to keep their teammates alive, but they're clearly running a very tanky, robust build that is keeping themselves alive, with 3 good PvP players beating down on them. So guard might have been a better option there for them, but that's a whole different sort of video. And I'm going to employ my same cheeky tactic here. We're going to Purify, we're going to Reflective Light, we're going to Meteor, top lane charge for the sun, sweeps, and we don't need to Radiant Destruction yet, just to get that early kill, help even the numbers straight away, and just get that little psychological victory over them and hopefully slow them down a bit. So my buddy Dissection has caught up to me now, or at Papco for at names. So that takes a little bit of pressure off myself. It gives them 2 targets and we're able to support each other really well. We had to eat a meteor there, so we're just going to jump down, keep kiting around. The biggest way to mitigate damage in this game is line of sight. No matter what else we do, nothing will mitigate more damage than what line of sight will do. So we're basically just going to keep running around until we can find a place to establish ourselves that is convenient for an outnumbered group. But the nature of the Templar passives being stationary is a little bit of a hindrance, so we do just have to keep popping them down every place we go. So Dissection was in a bit of trouble there, so I'll pop my Remembrance, give him a bit of a heals. Grey is up there by the NPCs. That guy is that guy is an icy monster. He knows this place like the back of his hand, so he's already started taking down some of the flag guards for us. The flag guards, just like in Overworld Cyrodiil, are notorious for just dropping negates, stunning, just doing all these horrible things at the worst possible time. So he's taken the guards down for us, which means we can establish this as our fighting ground. So we've got our ritual down, covering as much area as possible. We're just popping out the purifying lights on as many people as we can, even if we don't put any damage into them. Those are just going to be the DC players running around with a healing circle underneath them, healing us. So we keep popping down those purifyings, and as they go into melee, me and my teammates, they're actually healing us. So just keep popping that down. We're basically just looking for weak targets. So the first thing we have to do is stay alive, because if one of us dies, we're each taking 33% of the damage at the moment. If one of us dies, that means each of us has to take 50% of the total damage. That's a 17% damage increase. So Grey got an awesome Soul Assault kill there. So our primary function is to not die, because if that happens, our other teammates will die. Second function, keep our buffs up and keep our cross healing going. And then our third objective is to just keep probing the opposition. We have to look for weak points. So I focus on this Magicka here, because Magickas are typically very squishy and I can usually kill them with a meteor. But this guy, his health barely moves, so he has too many heal over times on him, or he's wearing a tanky build. I don't know what's up. But he's a bit too tanky for us to take down in one rotation, so we're gonna try and focus elsewhere. So we're just so I'm using buff timers at the moment here, and I've got the 3 most important ones on my screen that you can see there. So we have Channeled Focus, we have Robes of Transmutation, and we have Major Sorcery. So we're just keeping those up constantly, never letting them drop down. So we're staying alive, we're keeping our buffs up, and we're just keep testing the opposition, looking for those weak points where we can close out some kills. Magicka's going around, got a good fear on all of us just then. We keep popping down Purifying. Our guys are in a little bit of trouble, so I'm dropping down a Remembrance just to ease the pressure on them a little bit. You see, we're all back up to full health pretty much straight away. So good ultimate use there from myself, if I'm allowed to say that. So we take a lot of damage there real quick, swap to Sword and Board, do some block casting. We are wearing 7-piece sturdy on this build, so with a stamina pool of 15k we can block for quite a bit. So we do have solid defenses there where we can block cast, we can keep our teammates alive. I'm focusing on the Magicka to get a bit then, but I realised that I'm not going to be able to take them down in one rotation with all this action going on, so I back off for a bit. I found a poor level 32 has been mixed up in all of this, so he gets dropped down pretty quickly. We see a random EP standing over there enjoying the fight, good on him. We drop down a high level Templar there, which is really good. We get feared here, but we're gonna keep pressuring this play with the Purifying on him. See if we can get the kill. If they just survive there and get away, that's a lot of resources they would have expended there. I'm gonna try and get this guy before he gets back into the fight, and I would have got him there, but I got a meteor on me pretty much like the second after I meteored him, so unfortunately he got away as well. DC spawn in this district is just the building you can see over on the right there. So as soon as we kill people, depending on their load screen times, they're about 10 seconds away before they get back into the fight. So I don't know if we're going to be able to kill enough of them that they'll want to go away permanently. So I'm on very little stamina here, so I'm going to get some heavy attacks in. I don't have a pot. I do have a Remembrance up if I need it, but I don't feel quite pressured enough yet. So there, after a few heavy attacks, I've got my target here. I had a Purifying on him, gap closed him, stunned him, sweeped him out of existence. Let's see, we've got a lot of DC on low health here. Let's see if I can replicate that again. Purifying, toppling charge, sweeps, and another one is down. Just going to keep doing this same thing here. We're taking very little damage now, so it's basically just Purifying light, reflective light. We got a meteor this time. The Magicka is finally going down. That's like my second or third attempt, and we're down to a 3v3 for the first time that we've been on this flag. But you can see the DC just coming straight in from their spawn point there. We'll get a good camera angle here. You can see them just dropping straight down onto spawn and coming back at us. So the only way we're going to win this is if we can just dishearten them long enough that they don't come back after spawn. We've been here so long that the NPCs have started to respawn, so we're going to help get a kill on them, and we're going to knock out a DC at the same time. We're doing these three things over and over again. We're keeping our buffs up, we're staying alive, and we're probing for weaknesses in the DC and dropping out those people who seem to take a lot of damage quickly. So we're jumping around. We got Purifying, we're refreshing our buffs. So yeah, Purifying, Reflective Light, Meteor. We're going on for the kill on this guy, and it's closed out. Let's see what else we can get here. Yeah, Grey got another beautiful Soul Assault kill there. Papco came in with the Dawnbreaker. I don't think he hit anyone, but that's okay. Quick mention on the Meteor ground effects. Oh no, see, look what me and Papco have done here. For 2, maybe 3 seconds, we moved off the flag to try and get a kill on that DC, and in that brief time, Grey was taking the damage of every single DC, so we completely messed up there. We allowed Grey to take 100% of the damage instead of 33%, and that meant he died. So that was 100% our fault for getting distracted by that Magicka jumping off the side there. So there's only one thing that can save us now, and that is a sneaky and fast Magicka resurrection. So Papco knows this, but unfortunately he's gone down. So I have to kite these guys around in circles long enough that gives me about 3 to 4 seconds on either Grey's or Papco's body to be able to resurrect them. Now's not the time, they're right behind me, so I'm going to keep going. I don't have a pot up, but I do have a Remembrance in the bank if I need it. So I'm just going to get into a little bit of better position here and try and get around, but my resources are and I get feared. And that fear is just the end of it. Stuns that go through blocks, the absolute killers for tanks. And that's the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That went at 110 miles per hour. But I hope you got some good gameplay tips out of that one. I'll see you guys all in IC, hopefully playing some Magicka.